to talk about our fiscal year, which just ended this past year. Peter?
Well, good morning, everybody. As Deacon John said, I'm Pete Langenhorst. I'm the chairman of the Finance Council, and as you know, once a year I'd like to get up in front of you and talk a little bit about how our finances were for the previous fiscal year, and that would be the fiscal year of 2019 to 2020. As a reminder, that started July 1st of 2019 and went all the way around to June 30th of 2020. So let me quickly go through some of the numbers and give you an update as to where we are from the parish standpoint. Our parish operating income for the year ended at just a little over $1 million, $1,019,000. Unfortunately, that was down about $426,000, or almost 30% from where we were a year ago. Net income for the same period ended a little under $4,000. And that was down from the previous year. We had net income for about $275,000, so that was a little over 100% that we were down there, or about $279,000. Let's go and break down the numbers. As I mentioned, operating income was just over $1 million, $1,019,000. That was down from $1.4 million, which we had the previous year, of about 30%. And I can tell you that it was due to one word: coronavirus. That's what really stuck us this year in terms of the operating income being down so much. If you look at our July through February timeframe compared to our budget, we were up 5%. If you then add in March, April, May, June, we were down 34%. So it really hit us hard. Operating expenses came in just over $1 million, $1,023,000. That was down from 1.1 the previous year, or about 12.5%. I can attribute that basically to the less operations that we had in March, April, May, and June. We just didn't spend the money to have the church open and the other operations. So we were down there from an expense standpoint, which is actually a good thing. Capital purchases we had at about $140,000, and that was attributed to the completion of the payment of the rectory, of the new rectory for our priests, a new computer system and a new roof system for this building, and a new HVAC system at the Good Shepherd. So the previous year we spent well over $400,000. So again, we were down in our capital purchases this past year as well. And then I want to give a shout out to the Oktoberfest team that came in last October of 2019. After you take out all the expenses, we ended up giving about $74,000 to our mortgage reduction, which is fantastic, the most that we've ever done. As you know, the Oktoberfest is one of our biggest fundraisers for this parish. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it this year, but I know we'll get back on track when we can. So despite the near closure for the coronavirus, we still had a good cash position in the bank. That has always been our stronghold in this parish, is a good cash position in our bank. Yes, we did use some cash. We had to, but we're still very strong in that position. We are stabilized financially, and in all accounts, we're in balance and in compliance with the diocese. And in fact, we had an audit last August from the diocese that came out for a couple of days, and actually we were really good, really good. They said that we're in great compliance, and we passed with flying colors. I will also tell you that we did apply and get approval for the PPP program that the government offered small businesses. That was a huge help to us because it allowed us to pay for salaries and some other expenses of our employees here at the parish to keep them working full-time. So that was a huge thing for the parish to be able to get and keep our employees working. So now from a mortgage standpoint, really good news. Last June of 2019, we ended that year with $1.397 million owed on this building. And if you recall, the previous November, we went to the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. I talked to you about that last time. Instead of the diocese taking our mortgage, we went to Notre Dame Federal Credit Union for a lot of good reasons, one of which was a lower interest rate. Our mortgage retirement from restricted contributions income came in about $745,000. We ended up paying $46,000 in interest. That was way down if you consider that we paid about $79,000, almost $80,000 in interest the year before. Moving to research, or the Notre Dame Federal Credit Union was really good. So we paid about $697,000 towards the principal. So our mortgage balance as of June 30th, 2020, just a few months ago, was $700,000 that we owe on our mortgage, which is really fantastic. Now, the even better news, if we consider what we put down July, August, and September, that number now is $437,000 that we owe on this mortgage. So that's really, really fantastic. Now, if you consider that back in 2010, our mortgage for the building and the property and everything started at $4.2 million, and now we're at $437,000, we're down 90%. So we have another 10% to go, so we can do it, I know. It's no surprise that the coronavirus wreaked havoc on our financials. It's basically shut us down in the months of March, April, May, and June, but we're starting to come back a little bit. I will tell you that the month of June, we started to really get back into the swing of things. And as Father has mentioned, we'll start to have more people coming and attending to Mass. Now, Father Bing and the team reacted quickly to start online Masses, in the March timeframe, late March timeframe, so the business of the parish and church could continue. I think we all participated in those online Masses, watching that. So that was a good thing. That was one of the more favorable things that this parish did in all of the valley, is getting real quick to get Masses online to keep us all engaged. I think the approval of the PPP loan in May was a huge help to our expenses. We would have gone really negative had we not had that. So that was a great program for us to participate in, and I know many businesses in Arizona and across the country took advantage of that as well. So I want to say that we're coming back slowly, getting our Masses back up to normal capacity. It's going to take some time, certainly. When I always talk about our financials, I always talk about our online giving. It's a great program for all of us. Usually, our online giving program stands at around 15%. Once the virus hit in March, we shut down April. It now stands at over 50%, 52% of online giving. So it's a great way for all of us to participate, and thank you for those who made the switch. And if you don't know how to do it, just give one of us a call at the office. We'll show you how to do it. It's very easy for the online giving portion. Now, one final word of great news. And this is regarding the capital campaign. And as you know, we started the capital campaign nearly 2 years ago, and the monies that are collected from St. Rose that go to the diocese, many of you are participating in that, we had a 65 to the diocese, 35 to St. Rose split until we hit our bogey number. Guess what? We hit our bogey number. So now 100% of the money that we contribute in the capital campaign through the diocese comes back to St. Rose bank account. So whether you give to the capital campaign through the diocese and then to us, or you give to the mortgage reduction campaign here at the church, it all goes to the same spot. So that is really good news. After about 18 to 20 months, we have paid what we needed to pay for the capital campaign to the diocese, and now all that money comes back to us. So that's a great job for all of us. So it's no surprise, too, that the coronavirus has put a huge delay in our new campus plan. More updated news on that project will be forthcoming certainly after the first of the year, so stay tuned for that. So to say that it's been a challenging year for all of us is really an understatement. but I think we see light at the end of the tunnel. We've got some really great spots that I just shared with you. Our mortgage is way down, even though our net income was not. But I think all of us are still participating as best we can, and we thank you for that. So I know I could speak for Father Ming, Father Joy, Deacon John, the entire staff, members of the Finance Committee, of which we have a couple today. Thank you for your continued support and giving to St. Rose and the Good Shepherd Mission communities. Without your help, we would not be able to do that. So thank you very much. God bless.